Maybe you're playing some classic Evil Genius right now to tide you over until Evil Genius 2, or maybe you just never stopped playing it. Whatever the answer is, we've got a burning question. Which of the 3 Evil Geniuses is the best? Hello and welcome to Rebellion. We've been expecting you. Well, not so much expecting you per se, as placing trapdoors strategically around the office in anticipation of your arrival. And we probably have Evil Genius to blame for letting us think that's an appropriate way to greet guests. What we should do, of course, is invite you to subscribe to the channel to get new videos every week. That's just good YouTube manners. Okay, now in this video, things are going to get a bit heated between the original game's 3 evil geniuses. Maximilian, Alexis, and Shen Yu are all as wicked as they are educationally accomplished, but the character you pick before embarking on a campaign to take over the world is more than a cosmetic choice. You get a different starting henchman for each one, which might influence how you conduct business in the early game. You get different special abilities, which will definitely influence how you conduct your business campaign long. And you get different voice lines when you order them back and forth just for the hell of it. And that isn't to be thrown out of court.
Wunderbar.
But which one's the best? Or rather, who's best for you? Evil Genius 2 fans, we've already seen a few returning characters from this list, including Maximilian himself and several henchmen, so this is relevant for future Genius picking too. To help discern one megalomaniac from another, we'll be pitting them against each other in several different categories. Without further ado then, which Evil Genius is right for you?
Way ahead of you, darling.
What better place to start than with a potted biography of Maximilian, Alexis, and Shen Yu? It's often in childhood where our personalities are really forged, in this lot's case, in the fires of trauma, humiliation, or privilege. Let's start with Maximilian, who's also returning as a playable genius in Evil Genius 2. Never much of a hit with the ladies when he was in school, the poor lad took a bit of stick for being on the shorter, squintier side. But he turned the teasing to his advantage and used it to fuel his ascendancy to the top of a successful, if not quite ethically squeaky clean, scientific research firm. Well done, Maximilian, lesson to be learned for us all there, except he didn't stop there. The poor Bavarian baldy still couldn't exercise his demons with the success he found, you see. He wants more, like the world more. Then we have Alexis. And we can send the violin quartet off home early for this one because there's nothing especially tragic about being the daughter of a billionaire media mogul and then inheriting the whole shebang and actually running it rather well, thank you. Without anything particularly harrowing to justify being all evil and that, Alexis isn't terribly easy to sympathise with. If Maximilian is your classic Bond villain, she's the kind you'd find in the Pierce Brosnan era, so convinced by her own hubris that her version of morality is correct that she'll stop at nothing to conquer the world. Even more than she already has. Which leaves Shen Yu. He's your classic rags to riches story in a sense, working his way up from a humble pickpocket to, well, I'm still criminal, but the kind of criminal who sits at the top of an enormous network of other criminals and splashes about in a paddling pool full of money at the end of a hard day's triad running. It's not all been plain sailing for Shen Yu though. He was once captured by forces of justice agents who implanted a chip in his brain so they could spy on him at a cerebral level. This was back when he was merely a triad employee, so they rewired it for him to do even more evil. But he fancied cutting loose to run his own evil conglomerate, thank you very much. He's a triad, that Shen Yu.
And now I sit.
Where do your allegiances lie now? Wait, don't tell me. Let's see which henchman each genius begins with and see how that shuffles the order. Maximilian starts with Ju Bei, who as long-time channel viewers will know, we established as an absolute monster in a fight earlier this year. His eviscerate ability turns that sword of his into a people blender, killing interlopers quicker than basically any other henchman, so I guess we should all just pack up and go home, should we? Except he also has Windwalk, which lets him teleport, just teleport anywhere. I mean, he's definitely the best, and he's coming back in Evil Genius 2. What do you got, Alexis? What Alexis has is a henchman with one of the best suits in gaming, that's what. Eli Barracuda oozes cool like a leaky engine coolant tank, and he's even more dangerous. His super headshot with that impressive pistol can kill many agents outright, while his ghetto boom blaster ability forces agents to follow him around wherever he goes, leaving them vulnerable to other henchmen and minions as they do. Ah, perfect timing, Lord Kane. How nice of you to join us. This frightening terror in a trench coat comes at the side of Shen Yu in the beginning, and his psychic terror special ability is just like it sounds really. Agents go into a state of panic and confusion, lolloping about while your own minions can attack them. His other ability is less aggressive. Smooth Operator simply convinces the agent that, no, nothing to see here, nothing suspicious anyway. They'll lose all heat from nefarious things that they've seen in your lair and stand there placid and vulnerable under Kane's spell. He's actually quite a frightening man, so let's move swiftly on.
They will, of course, die.
We have just one more category by which to ratify the respective merits of this horrible trio, so if you're not swayed by one of them so far, perhaps learning about their skills and abilities will help. And if not, well, frankly, we've done all we can, so you're just going to have to play the campaign 3 times, aren't you? Let's start with the Aura of Influence. This ability increases the attention and loyalty of all minions basking in its intimidating glow. Every genius gets it, but in different ways. Alexis has the largest aura, but the slowest restoration rate. Shen Yu's aura is the smallest of the 3, but let me finish Shen Yu, he also has the fastest regen rate. Thank you. Phew. Maximilian finally is slap bang in the middle for both aura size and regen rate. The plot thickens. Next up is executions. Just as before, all geniuses can do this, but the stat values differ from maniac to maniac. So when you pull off an execution on one of your own minions, perhaps for disloyalty or incompetence, or because you don't like the look of him, all other minions in the vicinity receive a boost to all 5 of their depletable stats. The amount of boost comes down to the genius though. Maximilian boosts minion stats by 5, Shen Yu boosts them by 7, and Alexis by 10. All geniuses also get the taunt skill, and it works just the same for everybody. Go over to a captured agent in a cell, taunt them, and you'll increase your notoriety. Nothing to distinguish them there then. Rather unpleasantly, they'll also gain notoriety for being present when an agent is tortured. Oof. So that's your Evil Genius 1 geniuses, deconstructed like 3 courses of a tasting menu at a posh restaurant, so that this screen no longer proves such a tricky one to get past when you start a campaign. Who's your genius du jour? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to this channel to get more fresh piping hot content out of the content oven every week. Until next time, use that aura of influence we all have within us for good, eh? Please and thank you.